You don't always have to take upcycling to the extreme that I'm doing it, but look at the things that you have. I think we're so easily throwing things away, and there's so much potential. DIY fashion is a mix of so many cool things. I'd say it's a lot of being resourceful, kind of using what you have available. It's creative, it's exciting.
And now I have a little bag.
It's always different, I think, for everybody that does it. For the past year, I have been the design ambassador for Arc'teryx, which has been so exciting. My work with them is really to focus on used product and try to find another way to use it. The coolest thing to me is the shape of their garments when they're hanging on a hanger. A lot of the time, product, when it's just sitting there, like not on a body, it loses the structure of it. It kind of loses the experience. But with Arc'teryx, you still see the shape, and it just makes you want to put it on. It's been good. I look at it as more of a portfolio, and to be able to almost have an archive. I tend to take apart the pieces that I make to be able to upcycle it again and again. So that's why I don't have like a huge archive of the pieces that I've made. So it's cool that my Instagram has become a place where it's the archive, it's pieces, and like that's what I consider the final piece to be. I was really just kind of interested in how things were made. And I think that was what made me realize that I love using garments and things that already exist, already have shape and personality to them. Just learning how to create through using upcycling, it just was so many possibilities. I get inspired by a lot of sport and sporting equipment. I love rock climbing, and so that's a huge inspiration for me. Technical clothing, things that really serve a purpose and a function, trying to find the most with one garment, pockets and zippers. Those are the things that inspire my work the most. The time that it takes to make the pieces usually isn't as long as it is to think of the idea and to photograph it, but I'd say no more than like 4 to 6 hours. I want to talk about the volleyball shoe that I made a couple years ago. That was probably one of my favorite projects because it was the first time that I saw the transformation. That's just volleyball. It's meant to play a sport. It's not meant to be anything else. And I turned it into a wearable slipper, and it was comfortable, and the colors were amazing. And I was like, there's just so much potential here. So that was definitely the project that catapulted me into this. If you have a crazy, wild idea, try to make it. You don't always have to have all the tools and the machines and the knowledge to be able to make something great. Look into your closet, try to find something that you haven't worn in a while, and try to find a way to be able to make it exciting again. People just using secondhand materials, using what we already have existing on Earth. There's just so much available, and there's just so many resources that we tend to overlook. I see a lot of, no-waste designers now customize their closet, customize their looks. It's exciting, I'd say. Look at the things that you have. I think we're so easily throwing things away. You don't always have to take upcycling to the extreme that I'm doing it, but if you crop something, then take the scraps and try to find a way to make a bag out of it or make a headband out of it. And learning how to sew, that's an underrated skill, but learning how to sew and being able to customize it to yourself, I think is a really great skill to have. Those are good questions. They had me thinking. So the energy was kind of fast, so I didn't have to think too hard about it in a good way.